Hello everyone, I just wanted to make a quick video talking about just a few problems from your test. I've had a couple of questions asked from a couple of different people, and I thought I would go over number 6, and number 8 is the one I've been requested the most. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about it, go through part of it, but I still ask that you guys finish the problem. So if you guys are having issues on any of these, please open up your notes before you contact me. If you're having issues, I am more than happy to do that. I'm just sitting around all day waiting for you guys to send me questions. But once again, I still want to put some of that back on you. So when you guys notice you're having an issue, send me an email right away and I'll do it and take care of it as fast as I can. So there is a difference between multiplying A by B and B by A. So first off, the order of it does matter. And then when you guys are doing this, you need to know that this is a 2 by 2 and this is a 2. There's 2 rows, row 1, row 2, by 4 columns. Column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4. Okay, and that's the same thing over here, row 1, row 2, and then the columns as well. So when we're doing this, we need to first off go ahead and take a 2 by 2 times a 2 by 4. 2 by 4. Okay, and the two center, they need to be the same value, and your new matrix is going to be a 2 by 4. So we know that our answer is going to come out, it's going to be a 2 by 4. So what we're going to do is I'm going to walk you guys through a few of these just so you guys know what's going on. Specifically, we know this is row 1, row 2, column 1, column 2, column 3, and column 4. And what you're going to do is go ahead and take the first row, once again, the first row times the first column. You're taking the rows from whatever your first one is, and you're taking the columns from whatever your second one is. So we're taking row 1 times column 1. So 1 times 1 is 2. Okay, then you add it to whatever you get, and then we're taking 3 times 0, so plus 0. Okay. We do the same thing with this next one. We're taking column 2 and row 1. So you're going to take row 1 times column 2. So 1 times 3 is 3. And 3 times 5 is 15. Okay? So once you go through this, this is kind of the basic idea, and you're going to go through row 1 times column 3 now. Row 1 times column 4. Row 2 times column 1. So if I do that one, I'm going to have 0 times 2, 0 times 2, plus 2 times 0, 2 times 0. Okay, and then you just continue along that method, and you guys are going to find your thing as you go. The issue with part B is just in this same exact kind of fashion. You have to go through, and you're taking now, since it's B times A 2 by 4 times a 2 by 2. And you guys should start to see the problem right here, and what you need to do is give me an explanation in a sentence or two explaining why this can't work. You can't simply just say it doesn't work. This would not give me all the information I need to know. What you'd need to go through and say is you'd have to talk about the rows and columns in these and why they would not match up when you're multiplying. You'd have to explain that in a sentence or two to me, okay? So what I wanted to do now is we're going to talk about 8. This is the problem that I've had a lot of people ask me about. And essentially when you're trying to find the multiplicative inverse, what you're doing is you are setting this equal to row echelon form, and then you're trying to get it in that same format. Whenever you guys get a nasty fraction, always ask yourself, did I have to go about it this way? From all the people that I saw that got 8 wrong, they decided to go through and divide by 2, and then they'd have a 1/2, and then with that, when they're adding fractions, they would get the answer incorrect. So my suggestion on this is just try to cancel out your x's, then cancel out your y's, then cancel out your z's. And I'm going to keep it exactly like it is and not move things around. I'll move things around at the very end. So what I should notice right away is that 1 and -1, they cancel out. and 1 times negative 1 will cancel out with this. So I'm just going to go along it, and I'm going to do it part way, maybe 3 steps, and then I'm just going to let you guys go ahead and finish it. So what we're going to do is take row 1 plus row 2. Then we're going to go ahead and take row 1 times negative 1 plus row 3. And when I do this, it does not just affect these numbers. I need to do that same exact thing to all of these numbers. Okay, so please keep track of that. I had a few people just change this side, not do a thing here. And then they told me that that was the inverse, and I had no idea where that came from. So with it, my first row is going to remain the same because I'm not adding anything to it. My second row, I'm adding the first row to it. So 1 minus 1 is 0. 0 plus 2 is 2. 2 plus 3 is 5. 1 plus 0 is 1. 0 plus 1 is 1. 0 plus 0 is 0. 1, 0. Okay. Then the next one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take and multiply this by negative 1. So negative 1 plus 1 is 0. Negative 1 times 0 is 0. Minus 1 is still negative 1. And then 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. Plus 0 is negative 2. Okay, I'm not done yet. I still have to multiply this by negative 1. Negative 1 plus 0 is still negative 1. 0 plus 0 is 0. 0 plus 1 is 1. From here, what you guys should notice, and this is where I had a lot of people make mistakes. They went through and they divided this by 2. And then they got 5 over 2, and then they made mistakes with fractions. Or they wrote it as 2.5 and then messed up with signs. I had a couple people just drop this 2 altogether for some reason. I don't know what happened there. But the idea is I want to cancel out these values. And it doesn't need to look just like that because I can switch rows. So I need to cancel out this 2 here. What do I need to multiply negative 1 by to cancel out that 2? Just 2. So I'm going to do 2 times row 3 plus row 2. Okay, then what's going to happen is I'm going to go ahead and add those together, and then I'll start changing things as time moves along from there. So with that, let's go ahead and take a look. When I do this, let me change my color to something a little different. My first row is still going to be the same. Negative 2, or 2 plus 2 is 0. 4, once again, we're multiplying this by 2. Negative 2 times 2 is negative 4, plus 5 is 1. Okay, then I have to do the same thing with these numbers. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2, plus 1 is negative 1. Okay, 0 times 2 is 0, plus 1 is 1. Okay, and then 1 times 2 is 2, plus 0 is 2. And what I need to do is now I need to go ahead and finish this problem off by using this 1 to cancel these out. And whatever's left over here on this right side will be my inverse. So what I'd like you guys to do is please go ahead and finish that and then write a quick sentence explaining either what we did or where you made your mistake. I want you guys to think about your thinking in the past, okay?